So our occasion for puja. And as I've suggested, or I hope I've suggested, we need to, in practice, learn to form a useful link between our, we might say, our inner realities, or our depth experience, our meanings, virtues, values, insights, experiences that we begin to dip into as we relax our hold on external circumstances in a safe, mindful and measured way. So there's a steady, careful disengagement from that and that and that, and just return to like a depth experience, breathing in, breathing out, feeling what's felt. And getting used to that process of being open and receptive, which is just not so possible when we're entering the external field of time and place and people and events. It's just not possible. It's also in the internal field, there's no time, whereas external field of sights and sounds and events is always moving along the clock. Things are moving, they come and gone. In the internal world, nothing's really come and gone. It's just flowing, sometimes returning, lingering, jumping, returning. Sometimes around extremely uncomfortable experiences, turning, sometimes around extremely beautiful, profound experiences. So these are all there, I might say, in the karma field of karma, the internal domain. And we're kind of dropping into that. Now, how does that, the qualities that we enrich there, how do they connect to what we do and say and who we associate with and why? In a way, this is a pretty natural thing. You begin to feel you're not interested in that, you're not interested in that, these are the people you want to be with, and so forth. And still, by the nature of our social conditions, we are, we are involved, we are embedded in an extremely fragmented, multifaceted field of human actions or interactions and governments and policies and so forth, nationalities and these sort of things, which have got some wholesome, some unwholesome, some very confused, some deeply disturbing, and a whole mix of it. We want to be able to hear our own voice in that the voice of your depth can find its place to be. Now, what's this? So this is an ongoing eightfold path, isn't it? That's really what it's about. We're using an altar, shrines, images, icons, as a benchmark, if you like. Benchmark of the internal field of Dhamma. Yeah. So here, generally in this culture, this particular Buddhist culture, and there are various Buddhist cultures. Whether it's Zen, Vajrayana, Pure Land, so forth. Theravada, we have the Buddha is always at the highest, and then you have flowers represent moral purity. Candle, light represents clarity of wisdom. Incense represents the fragrant, suffusive medium of meditation, where qualities can suffuse and permeate the field, just as the way that the light fragrance of incense can permeate a room. So samadhi experiences is the saturation and steeping of beautiful qualities through one's mind, with its uncertainties and edges, and just suffusing that with qualities of goodwill and steadiness. And even the body through the, we might say, obviously through the nervous system, but even into deep tissue memory. Tissue memory refers to these reflexes that the body has where it feels nervous or apprehensive or accepted or unwelcome. These are not local events happening in your wrists. This is an overall sense of the body feeling as picking up signs from the world around you. And this is very karmic. Where the sights of certain things may cause a triggering effect. Phobias about animals, dogs. Maybe they've been attacked by dogs. They have phobias about dogs. Phobias about other people. Phobias about men. Phobias about women. They just feel very uncomfortable. And that's an overall kind of gut reflex or heart reflex. Now, in a way, the more we repeatedly use puja, you're really beginning to develop another tissue memory, you could say, the same level. It's not so that you practice with it. You inhale the qualities of the Blessed One, the one who bestows blessings on me. Now, you may not really get that idea. This is not a person doing something. There's a sense, it's just a way of language. To inhale, to bring in the quality, what would it be like to be blessed? This means given to, with no asking anything back. Given purity to, given pure qualities, given pure loving regard. What would it be like? You can even conceive of such a thing. So this is an occasion for that kind of experience. So I've mentioned when you address the Buddha, you address yourself from this upright sense, which is both stable and internal, but also very open. Stable, open. Otherwise you can't receive the blessings. If you're closed, you can't, it doesn't go in. So if you just say, okay, you've got to chant something or the other, it's not going to go in. It's got to be that sense of, really open up to that. And that itself can be a curious thing, because here I'm just sitting in my house, which is very much associated with the external field of belongings and possessions and other people. So why you want to create a specific place where, at a specific time, when for now, this particular spot on planet Earth represents my entry place to the field of blessings. Certain sacredness to it. And that sacredness needs, when I say guarding, it needs protecting, it needs definition. Nothing else goes here. Yeah, it's sort of separate, and it's like a almost like a doorway in. So you want to keep it free from any other activities or senses. You know, it's not a place to put odds and ends. It's distinct in itself. Just what's it like to find that place? And and the more you do it, then that particular place in your house, in your wherever you do it, your corner somewhere, is a place you go to with your deep issues, your dilemmas, your uncertainties, your bereavement. You sit there. Now, you know, clearly, this image is not going to, piece of wood is not going to do you anything, is it? But the meaning of it can touch the heart, and you kind of, oh yeah, it's steadying. Entering. And do it repeatedly, then as soon as you see that, when you come to that, oh yes, this is not just, Tuesday morning, yada, yada, yada. This is very important, helpful. And this is also a place where you can make resolution, because at the place where you're in that open, resonant, receptive, stable place, then the resolutions that you make, any resolution you make, goes deep. So it isn't the place just to be idly, but sorry, don't get me wrong, but just to be, you want to kind of keep it so, to make it more useful, it means keeping your eyes open and chanting, so that the front of your mind, the activity of your mind, is at least not blocking, entry to the depth by wandering off about this, that, and this, that. So the entry place of your mind, the surface of your mind, is kind of aligning itself with that. This is why we chant, you see, because when you chant, you can't be going through the grocery list, or planning to have an extension built on your house, or worrying about the dog. So you're engaged in that. So it just helps to keep that doorway quite clear, open. And okay, now here, this is the place where let's put the external world just to one side and look internally. What really counts for me? What really matters in my depth? What matters really? Some things I like, but it doesn't. Some things it doesn't really matter. This is what matters. And it helps you to clarify when you're in dilemmas about what to do and who to be with, or whatever. You go to that place, you almost ask for guidance and wait for something, place where things suddenly or gradually, perhaps, this is what it's meaningful now. And you can make a resolution around that, resolve it. And that one will tend to stick. This in the resolve is not something you should arrive at hastily, just from a good idea or a hope, or just sheer optimism. But it should be made from a place of depth, almost inevitable. This is how it has to be. this is where the truth is for me at this now. And you return to that, so that when you sit there again, that truth, that resolution returns to you. Yeah. And then whatever, all the kind of issues of the day, yeah. But this one, this is something a bit more long term. So when we do some practice the chanting, it's good to have this attitude kind of in the back of the mind, like, okay, the chanting is going on, blessed one, truth, skillful practitioners, commitment, these resonances, these nuances happening there. Just turning it around. Those who practice directly, those who practice rightly, the Buddha knower of the worlds. These are terms that become familiar to you, and they're the anthem of the inner field, your Dhamma field. This is the call tone of the inner field. Just in that. And then you can let the sound fade, and then returning to that place and looking deeply. Where's the resolution? What needs to be put aside? What needs to be repaired? Relationships with others, lifestyle. What needs to be reset, repaired, and so on. It's where you do your deep housework on the depth. So let's turn to the words, the chanting book, and we have the salutation to the triple gem, and we'll follow that today. We're going to try the Pali version of the Divine Abidings. And just listening to the sound of that. Those of you not familiar with it, just listening to the sound of it. Others, you may want to intone it. As I've said before, that puja can be a silent puja, or it can be a vocalized puja. Blessed one, the Lord who fully attained perfect enlightenment, to the teaching which he expounded so well, and to the blessed one's disciples who have practiced well, To these the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, we render with offerings our rightful homage. It is well for us that the Blessed One, having attained liberation, still had compassion for later generations. May these simple offerings be accepted for our long-lasting benefit and for the happiness it gives us. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed One, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. The teaching so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha. Now let us pay preliminary homage to the Buddha. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened One. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened One. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened One. Now let us chant the recollection of the Buddha. The Buddha, a good word of the Blessed One's reputation has spread as follows. He, the Blessed One, is indeed the pure One, the perfectly enlightened One. He is impeccable in conduct and understanding, the accomplished One, the knower of the worlds. He trains perfectly those who wish to be trained. He is teacher of gods and humans. He is awake and holy. Now let us chant the recollection of the Dhamma. The Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One, apparent here and now, timeless, encouraging investigation, leading in words to be experienced individually by the wise. Now let us chant the recollection of the Sangha. They are the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, who have practiced directly, who have practiced insightfully, those who practice with integrity. That is the 4 pairs, the 8 kinds of noble beings. These are the Blessed One's disciples. Such ones are worthy of gifts, worthy of hospitality, worthy of offerings, worthy of respect. They give occasion for incomparable goodness to arise in the world. Andamayam Chittarapamanyopasanam Romasi Metta Sahangatena Cetasa Ekang Disang Paritawa Vinarati Tanda Dutiyam Tanda Datiyam Tata Jatutang Itiyo Tammadoa Tiriyam Savanti Sambadantaya Sambhavandam Lokang Meta Sahangatena Cetasa Vipulena Mahangandena Apamanena Averena Abhaya Pajena Paritawa Vinarati Karuna Sahangatena Cetasa Ekam Disam Parindawa Vinarati Danda Dundiyam Danda Dandiyam Danda Jadu Dang Indiyo Damandoa Tiriyam Sabandi Sampadantaya Sambhavandam Lokam Karuna Sahagatena Cetasa Vipulena Mahakantena Apamanena Irena Nabhaya Pajena Paritawa Vinarati Mudita Sahangatena Cetasa Ekam Disang Paritawa Vinarati Danda Diyam Danda Datiyam Danda Jatu Tang Idiyo Tamando Atiriyam Sabandi Sambanandaya Sambhavandam Ukam Mudita Sahagatena Cetasa Pulena Mahagatena Apamanena Virena Abhaya Pajena Paritawa Vinarati Yopeka Sahangatena Cetasa Hengham Disam Tawa Vinarati Danda Dundiyam Danda Dandiyam Danda Jatutam Indiyo Damando Adiriyam Sa Disamba Dadaya Sambhavandam Lokang Upeka Sahangatena Cetasa Polena Mahangatena Hapamanena Navirena Nabhaya Jena Parindawa Viharati. slow, graduated expansion, awareness to the sense fields. Make your first call on that journey, the physical body, and get the structure in, spine particularly, all the way up, neck, head. Firm. This is a representation of the upright axis. Now, if you have spinal damage, it's not that you have to sit bolt upright, but just getting a feeling for that, the base, the middle, the top, and the connection between the base of your body, middle of the back, shoulders, base of the neck, then where the neck meets the cranium, meets the skull. That's all there in some form or another. And feeling that. Can you feel it all there? Can your awareness, easily extend or move through that? Or does it get stuck in places? Or go numb? And there's no pushing. So if it's the difficult area, just expand lightly over that, or around that, space around that area, space around it. Your attention can drift up like smoke, just mist moving through the body to complete the upright direction. May I be well, may this be well. This supports me, may this be well. If you can, extend across the body, easy places, one shoulder tip to the other shoulder tip, across your body, top of the arms, across the throat. Particularly, moving from the extremity across that area, the top of each arm, and connecting underneath the throat. As you breathe in and out. And then across the hip region, similarly. Again, the flexion of the abdomen, breathing in, expanding, breathing out, subsiding, easily flow through that region. Nicely filled. Steadied, soothed. Turning to of course you can linger in that. This is an indefinite extension. There's no end to this session. There'll be a point at which I take my leave and you can continue, but touch into the auditory sense. There's a world around me. The silence, sounds. And the visual sense. The screen, lights, colors. I'm not in this, I'm aware of it. I can choose to enter it or just stay back at this place of pure seeing. Practice that. Choose what you want to see and choose to step back to just pure seeing. With no specific engagement. And you feel comfortable in that, steadied in that, you can begin movement. You're able to move within this. You're not frozen, you're not locked, nor are you thrown into movement. It's non-compulsive movement. It's just feeling the body's ability to move and occupy space, not fidgeting. It's gently moving. And just see what seems to be the direction, the stillness, when you want to sit some more, walk, just what feels right to continue. Integrating the inner domain with your external circumstance. Let's complete the group session with the salutation, and then I'll leave you to make your own choices. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one, I render homage to the Buddha, the blessed one. The teaching so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha.